Well, hello everyone. It's Just Dwayne. Let's talk some gear. Okay, so there we are in normal pitch mode. So the next decision is whether or not I need the doors. If I want the doors, then I just close off the doors. Let's take a look at that. So you can see I have the doors installed. If I need to, I can tighten them up or loosen them up as I want. If I want more airflow, for example, then I can just take this, say this left-hand door, and just pull it, take it open. Now I can have breeze coming this way, and it's still very easy to get in and out. Great demo, in case you forgot how to get in and out. If I want it tight, if I'm really concerned about the wind or there's a big storm, then I'll just pull them even, more 90 degrees. And when I do that, you'll see I have a lot of overlap. You can probably see I'm looking at a foot of overlap on the bottom. So it pulls up real tight. Gives me plenty of room still. It's probably, from the end of my hammock, I still have a good 10 inches. If I'm in that storm mode, then I'll use my trekking pole or whatever to pull these side tie-outs out and give myself all that room inside. I'll go ahead and tie that out so we can see the difference in room that gives us. One thing to notice whenever I'm using my trekking poles as a tent pole for my tarp, what I always make sure I do is I just unthread my basket and I turn it upside down, and that way I don't end up with those sharp points again. Ouch, God. As I was saying before I was rudely stung by that wasp, that, man, that hurts. As I'll go ahead and turn my baskets upside down so that the pointy part, which hopefully isn't a wasp this time, doesn't poke through my tarp. So I also use the cheap Wally World poles. I really like these cams. And so I can set, what I do when I'm using them for tarp poles is I go all the way to the stop line on both settings. And that gives me a nice long pole, and it's really strong, and I never have to worry about it closing off. So basically what I do is I'll just keep it upside down, and I'll use that as my pole. Okay, so now we're inside the tarp. Let's look at a couple of the features that we have here. One is that Joe also puts, if you remember, there was a tab on the top that I have a mitten clip on that I clip to the ridgeline on the outside. Well, he puts the same tab here, and what I did was attached a little S-beaner to it. And what that lets me do is when I'm not using the doors, like on this side I don't have the doors up. So when I'm not using the doors, I simply take the shock cord that I use for the bottoms and attach that to the S-beaner. Okay? And then on this side, you'll see with the doors closed that it comes all the way down, seals out nicely. Okay? Let's compare. This is the side with the pull out. So you'll see with the side pulled out, there's a ton of room in there. I fit in there just fine. On the side without the pull out, you see it's still plenty of room, but I obviously could gain a good bit more. We're probably looking at, well, I'm standing here at the hammock, and here's the length of my arm, so my massive arm, and that's just to the pull out. So you're looking at probably 2.5 feet per side. That's 5 feet interior opening. That's a good bit. You'll see with the doors pulled back, the tarp itself Looks just like a hex tarp. And there's the door pull out. And you'll see how much room I have between the ridge line, or the corner of the tarp, and the corner of the hammock. So here I am in porch mode and with one single stake on each side. You see, it gives me some visibility. Generally though, what I do is I put the stakes on either end and do a one-sided porch, which is why I only have shock cord here. I'd obviously use heavier cord for safety. And here it is in porch mode, as I usually use it, with a pull on either corner. I just use the regular ZPacks lines that I have hooked to it. I get a lot of room to be able to see out from the hammock. It's perfect. And I can either have the doors down for additional protection if I need them, or keep them up for maximum ventilation. Well, the last thing to do is go ahead and close it up. I like to just roll it up, roll up all the lines inside before I put my skin on, and that seems to work great for me. You'll see with the one continuous python, what I really like is that I don't get a big bunch in the middle. When I use two separate snake skins, everything kind of seems to squish to the middle and I get a big bulk. I don't get that with the individual python. Okay, and just like with my hammock, what I like to do is I'll just fold it in half to get the middle. I'll start to kind of bunch it up. I'll pull out my little Z-Pack bag, shove it all in there. And then I just keep this in the outside pocket of my pack so that when I stop, if it's rainy, it's very simple to just pop it out without getting any of my other gear wet. And then I can take my rest stop out of the rain, or I can set it up first, set my hammock up underneath it, which is a real advantage to hammock camping, and that works out great too. So again, I'm AmJustDuane. Thank you for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again on the trail.